Hey guys, GHAZZY TV here with another Path of Exile video, and all the servers are literally on fire. It's crashing, it's DC issues, Mercs are one-shotting you all the time, and I'm still having fun. I'm still having fun. I'm having the time of my goddamn life. We made Mage Skeletons come back, and I'm having such a great time. So PoE just announced a little bit of a public post. I'm going to go read that with you guys, and I'm going to give you guys my rundown of my experience with the launch of 3.26, Secrets of the Atlas, and my take so far, and the kind of encounters I've had, and kind of the future of mercenaries in general, my personal take on it. Let's crack on with the video. Basically, in this post, they're talking about how they're very thrilled to see the number of people coming back to PoE 1, but they wanted to start with the elephant in the room, and unfortunately, apparently all the European servers and across the globe, they've been facing a barrage of DDoS attacks, which is why we're DCing so much and having server issues in general. These are actually caused by DDoS attacks, which is quite sad to hear. Obviously, they're reassuring us or assuring us that they are taking it seriously. They're looking at making this, this is their highest priority, and looking into making solutions to fixing this now and for the future. The standard announcement post we'd expect from a company having this type of issue, but it's good to hear that they're acknowledging it and, you know, just making us aware of the situation, assuring us that they are working on it. Additionally, they're talking about making some improvements to memory skills granted in maps influenced by the originator. And they also wanted to talk about the idea of the mercenaries having some abilities that were one-shotting people, especially damage over time effects. And they were saying that they have a future patch coming in, which is going to adjust this when the mercenary is an enemy, but have the same efficiency when they are a friendly ally. So obviously, servers issues aside, my experience was the first stream I did, or first part of the stream, is I hit a level 42 hype train. So I streamed from the launch till well, Sunday night, Monday morning, actually. So I streamed all of those hours. I slept for 6 hours on stream. So that was kind of a fun experience. But that's what I was doing. But the first session of that, I was DCing. I lost everything. It was consistent. I was doing abyss farming. And for those of you who know, you know. But those of you who don't know, the way you make money early game on Abyss is you get the depths. And once you get a depth, that is guaranteed quite big money on the first 2 days of a league. Then it kind of crashes and it's worth like nothing. I sold a pair of boots for 1.5 div that I got the other day. And literally 12 hours later, that pair of boots with the perfect rolls were going for like 20 chaos. So my goal was push hard on the first day, make money on Abyss the first 2 days, and then skip Abyss. The problem is every single depth I got DC'd and lost my instance. So I was more broke than I've ever been in any league in the past 12 years of playing Path of Exile. Kind of crazy. So I hit level 93 with my Mage Skeleton Build, wearing a tabula rasa. But we finished all the originator stuff with the tabula, and it was very fun to play. And the build's been successful, been having a lot of fun. I'll leave a link in the descriptions down below to that build guide that we just posted an update for, because it's really fun. You can stay with the leveling absolution and move into chaos conversion of Mage Skeletons, and then into the whole Doriani prototype on the mercenary approach, which we made a PUB for, which was in that video as well. Been having a lot of fun. So I took a 6-hour nap, and then when I woke up, the servers have been fine for me, but all day today in the stream I did before this recording, people were still saying in chat that they were having server issues. I have no idea what's causing this, because some people were fine on day one when I was crashing and DCing all the time, and now I'm fine. I don't know, maybe it's just the streamer client actually being real or something. I have no idea what's happening. But it's very sad to hear. Apparently, the confirmation here is that it's not server issues on the GG's end. Well, it kind of is, I guess, but it is, in fact, server-related issues due to DDoS attacks. So let's talk about the mercenaries. Obviously, they are crazy when they're an enemy. Some of them are just one-shotting people, no matter how tanky your character is. I saw Pox die to a flame dash mercenary on a righteous fire build. Like, how do you die to fire dot as a righteous fire build? So that is happening, which is kind of crazy. But they're aware of this, and they're working and looking into fixing this with a future patch, as this post was stating. And I want to talk a little bit about the mercenaries. I first was a little bit on the fence whether or not you know, things like the Doriani setup for them, which for some reason it's working. We know it was going to work. The problem is, like, this guy has negative fire rest, negative lightning rest, 0 chaos rest, no evasion, it's like 4,500 HP. This guy is tanking endgame pinnacle bosses, clearing juiced up T16, juiced up T16.5 maps, and he's not dying. He's just taking it all like it's nothing. So there's some sort of damage reduction scaling. I understand why they did that. It's obviously to make sure that they are able to survive when you're doing juiced up content. Otherwise, they will become completely irrelevant at that point of the game. So it makes sense. But at the same time, we'll see. But after playing a lot and seeing the experience of playing with mercenaries, I will say that I've been having such a good time with them. Like, it's been so much fun to find the mercenary I wanted to play with and gear it up. And honestly, just the gearing part, even before I went with the whole setup with Doriani stuff with this guy, is so much fun. Like, that level layer in the game has been very enjoyable. And also their abilities. Like, this guy has a 6-link or 5 supported absolution skill, which has been absolutely insane to see that just go ham in maps. I am in the boat, and I didn't think I was gonna say this, but I genuinely, at this point, 3 days in, I want to see mercenaries become a part of the core game, but I want them to not let us take the items. Because most items I have on my character is actually picked up straight from the mercenaries. Like, almost all my rare gear is taken straight up from the mercenaries. I have stopped looting jewelries on the ground. There's no point, because you'll always find better from the mercenaries, more or less. I basically don't touch items on the ground at all, unless it's from crafting or if it's a big drop like uniques and stuff like that. I don't do it anymore because the mercenaries provide this. So I would like to see mercenaries become a part of the core game 3 days into the league, but without the mechanic where we can take their gear. I just want the merc, their abilities, and for us to be able to gear them. That is enough for me to say this is so cool. And I love that they added this ability that you get. I'm sure you can see it on screen here, but it's called Order to Me, which is basically a convocation ability, but for the actual mercenary. And convocation in PoE 1 is an ability that teleports your minions that are following you to you, so not skeletons. And you get that one for free, but for mercenaries. I'm actually really happy about how the Merc system works as an ally. And there's some crazy stuff. I heard Tuna found some Flame Link supporting mercenary that buffs you with fire damage. There's some crazy other stuff. DM was sending me some footage of his mercenary wearing a Moroi Urki, just slapping bosses through the campaign. It was beautiful. I think this layer of fun is absolutely exciting. And I don't know, maybe I'm alone, but let me know in the comments below what you guys think of the Merc system, or if you guys actually want this to be part of the core game, because it kind of, like, once you get a good Merc, it kind of trivializes the content quite hard. But it's been very fun to have the layer of gearing him. So when I find items, I don't look at it like, oh, I'm not going to use this. I get the item and I'm like, I'm not going to use this, but that looks like a really good item to put on my mercenary. For example, Perkle's Toe. This makes my Mage Skeletons or lightning-based builds not need the Spirit of Fortune Spectre. So I don't know, it's just, I really like this layer. It's been so much fun to play with. I've been having such a good time despite the server issues. And normally when, like, leagues like in the past 12 years have had server issues, not to this extent in the past, I guess, but when they've had major server issues, it's mostly been, you know, the whole room is on fire kind of thing. And it's just been very disappointing and sad to experience. But I feel like the server issues are terrible. I get it. I know. I experienced it myself in the first day, at least. I'm still super happy because of the layer of the Mercs. I don't know. It's just so hard. I will, though, point out that the whole system with the originators, this looks beautiful, by the way, the Atlas. But I will say, when it comes to the originators' memories, the quest chain of them at the very end felt like it was very fast. They're supposed to be the tier between tier 16 and tier 17 because they can roll the tier 17 modifiers, but they don't require you to only use Chaos Orbs to reroll. And they get hard. Like, as you go through this chain, you do the first one's pretty okay, and the second one is actually harder, and like it gets harder and harder. I felt like maybe it's just because I'm playing Mage Skeletons, so they were, you know, in a tabula rasa. I finished it off. They were pretty juiced up at the end. Like, it felt really cool. It felt like a really nice in between tier 16 and 17. And based on the juicing you can do in these maps, it definitely seems like it would be like the place to be instead of tier 17s for giga juicing. But that also means that you have to find one of these, you have to go build it up. So I'm not sure how this will work once the league has been active for a while and people find the more meta farming strategies. Currently, I'm running a destructive play farm, so I'm doing a lot of Maven fights, Cirrus fights, Elder fights, and just pumping that up. But I feel like the idea of it is really cool. I'm not sure if it will be the place people will farm. They're doing the originator's memory maps chains instead of just staying in tier 15 or the tier 17 maps. I'm not sure how that's going to go. So like, if you stay in 17, you just buy the maps and you push them up, juice them up, and run them hard. But you can do that consistently. Every map you do is going to be that. Whereas the originator memories means you do that chain, you juice that up to the skies, and then you have to find another one, juice it, like do the chain till you get them to be juiced up, and then juice it up with your scarabs or whatever you're doing, right? So I'm not sure how that's going to go with the balance of, hey, now I can't do it. Now I have to find the memories, and oh, I got one. Now I'll do that. So maybe people at the higher end game, like really hard pushing farming strategies, will end up doing tier 17s till they find one of these and then do them, and then back to tier 17s and rinse repeat that process. That might be something we'll see. But very much like the way I like to farm in this game, I'm not a big Matic fan where I do only one type of map. I actually really like doing several different maps to make the game feel a little bit more fresh. Every time I do a map, it's not the same map all the time. So that's why I like running destructive play, where I'm doing a lot of Maven influence maps. I do different maps. I go through the Elder Slayer, the Conquerors, and all those things. I think that's really fun to do. And the originator's memories do that as well. You find this fraction in the map, you get to engage with the originator memory. In this case, you'll get this map here, and then you go through the chain to do the next one, and there will always be a different map to engage with. I think that's a really fun thing to do, because a meta has been for many, many years in PoE where you basically just stay in one single map. I mean, everyone remember buried, like the buried maps. People have been in cemetery farming, the Crimson maps. It's just the same map over and over. Like, I can't do that for 4 months. It's just too much. So I'm very happy with the way they set this up. I'm just not sure how it will find its place in terms of actual endgame currency grinding for the endgame players once we figure out which strategies to utilize. But I will say, though, for my first impressions as of the launch a couple of days ago, I've been having a blast. If I take all the service issues aside, it's just been such a good time from start to finish. And I wanted to make this video to talk a little bit about the DDoS attacks and my experiences and my impression of the actual league. I think that this might come down to be one of my favorite leagues that GHAZZY has released in a very, very, very long time. I might actually say that this is my favorite league so far. Server issues aside, the Mercs, the whole layer of that makes this my favorite league. It's been so much fun. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think of it, and hit the like button, subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. As always, stay safe, keep rocking.